This is going to be a vignette of a video. It perhaps will last 3 minutes. um, and this is simply another discussion of nihilism and relativism. And perhaps one will be almost concerned with how desperately I must prove the existence of nihilism or explicate and defend nihilism. I suppose it's simply that if I choose to believe anything, I wish to be well grounded in even my recognition of the non-existence of belief itself. And this is simply, I was having it or discussing relativism and skepticism with someone the other day, and it was very simple. This person argued. I was originally taking relativism, the stance of relativism. Somebody was rejecting relativism, so I took its defense, naturally. And this person argued, my original argument was that we are not objectively claiming that there is no true objective reality. That makes no sense. It's the simple recognition of a lack of objectivity. And he responded with, in your analogy, then, with the recognition of the subjectivity of truth, and there are many, many, many truths in relativism, and even skepticism, how there are these truths out there, but there's no way to prove it. But there is still the existence of a truth. I actually did not mock his optimism, overt optimism. Instead, it was simply that he argued that there is the existence of truth, even if we are unable to recognize it, a la Xenophanes. However, this is simply how I am able to ground my ground my defense in nihilism, that one must first reach relativism and skepticism in order to achieve nihilism. To be able to recognize that according to this claim, there are many, many truths out there, and there is a possibility that there is one truth, which is the truth, which is, I think it's safe to assume, truly an asymptotal truth. Nevertheless, such a claim is still about the existence of truth, and that is, I believe, how one is able to found or discover nihilism. That if at best all that we can do is claim that there are many, many, many truths, and somehow one is to be better than the other, but we have no way of proving it, seems incredibly contradictory, and perhaps one would call it an extreme jump to instead claim that there is no truth. But again, this is a video, or I know that I have discussed this in a previous video. Now we must claim that there is absolutely no truth. However, is it truly that much more rational to claim that there is a truth out there that we will never ever be able to prove, and we will never ever be able to distinguish? And everybody has a piece of truth, but nobody will ever have the real truth. Instead of considering the fact that we psychologically have come to depend on the idea of a truth and then create our own, or at least create the image of our own truth. I personally consider that more rational than the existence of many, many truths and the indistinguishability between every single truth, or even the asymptotal of existence of a truth. Although perhaps I will come to consider asymptotal truth again more seriously, but as of now I do believe that, or I consider the coincidental fact that we have been for years of study, for thousands and thousands of years of study of truth, but I've been unable to reach a conclusion. Well, this vignette is becoming a little bit longer than a vignette, so I shall simply cut it off at that. It was simply how, long story short, I consider the path to nihilism to start with relativism and skepticism, and from then we can move into nihilism.